So it sounds like he knows it, but I mean, obviously, he can't be there every showing.
Right.
So but I was curious if like, I was curious to see if you
like some of the same things that
if
Ayers
you noticed
does.
the same thing that Eric did.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go see it in digital. I'm not gonna. I want to. I want to see the thing, the 35 millimeter, but
I'm going because I want to see the film. Seeing it in 35 millimeter is kind of like a luxury thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a novelty thing.
Yeah,
almost,
I'm just gonna go to Christown maybe later this afternoon and go see it.
Right on.
So, because this is me now. But so I guess before we get into the show too,
you mean at the 30-minute mark of the one that we're going to keep to a tight hour?
Yeah, that you had planned on keeping to a tight hour. Yeah, we'll just keep it for an hour. Have another beer. They announced most of the cast members today on Twitter. This being Sunday the 4th. Mm-hmm. This was the last day of filming.
What day is this?
It's the 4th. It's a Sunday. Some of us have to go work tomorrow, Jared.
I'm one of those people.
I know.
I have to be at work at 5 a.m. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So, gets a job and thinks it can be all. Anyway, so, I did watch it though. I watched the entire 50-minute, which is why I do not recommend we watch it end to end. Mm-hmm. But it was enjoyable to see all these people together. So I'll hit some highlights for you then, because you haven't seen it, and I do recommend you see it. It was fun. I
mean, I had planned on it, but I wasn't counting on being employed.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. In addition to this, I did go ahead and watch the season 3 blooper reel. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I watched several like the TV Line, the Entertainment Tonight, and the Entertainment Weekly interviews with the cast and crew at Comic-Con.
Okay.
And I have to say, they got the wrong people to interview them. It should have been us. I mean, very clearly. I don't know if your invitation got lost in the mail, but I mean, we should have been the people. And Mark Evan Jackson, or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Well, he's got to follow the company line.
Sure. I mean, but he does a competent enough job. I'm sure just as hosting his Good Place podcast,
the podcast that shall not be named.
They do all right. He does just fine, but I think that we could have asked the real hard hitting questions. And
what questions would you have asked?
That's a good question, Jason.
Well, I do ask the hard hitting questions.
I don't think I would have asked like the questions about how do you feel about the show ending, or how do you, there was a really good audience question, mm-hmm. About how they went about choosing which philosophers they discuss and all that sort of thing, and to which Michael Schur responded, and it would have been more questions like that, like some of the things that make the show so unique. Not I don't know. There were questions about when did you find out? When did you get the script for the final episode? Yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. Which the answer to that is that none of them had gotten the script to the final episode.
Because you waited.
Well, they had planned to get it on Friday, which means they would have had it prior to this panel. Mm-hmm. And then Michael Schur decided to back off from that because he didn't want Ted Danson leaking any of the information.
I had seen that scene. I had actually seen that part.
It's the Danson insurance policy is what they refer to it. So, and he's like, oh yeah, I would have leaked all sorts of stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty funny.
So there are things of this I may have seen in passing.
Okay.
Like I'd seen that part where the dance and insurance policy. I had seen parts of. I pretty much seen Kristen Bell crying a lot after the panel.
There was a lot of them welling up. Ted Danson, they're all. That's the thing that's great about watching this panel is how much it's very clear how much all these people love working together, and they love working on this show, and they all feel that they've contributed to something special, and that they're just as much fans of the show as we are, and that's something you don't run into very often.
No, and I don't think you do. And I also did see Kristen Bell's many encounters with Lin-Manuel Miranda because
What?
So Lin-Manuel Miranda was at Comic-Con too.
Okay,
because he's doing the adaptation for his Dark Materials.
Oh, okay. The Pullman, the like
Philip
golden, not Philip Pullman. Yeah. I thought you said Bill Pullman for a second. Like, no.
You mean the president of these United States who guided us through the alien invasion of 1996? Or was it 95? It doesn't matter.
The very same. Yeah, the Philip Pullman.
You mean Lone Star?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. No, but Philip Pullman, the Golden Compass.
Yeah.
That was the awkward transition. You see what I did there?
Yes.
Continue.
But yeah, okay. So I didn't know. That's cool. They're just, I'm assuming, completely ignoring the fact that that they did an adaptation with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig.
Yeah, but I think this time they're putting in the atheist elements.
Okay.
Whereas I believe the one that they did some years ago, they kind of glossed over those.
They took it all out of there.
Yeah.
Well,
which I thought I had not read the books, but I thought that was a competent adaptation. But
I didn't see it.
Yeah, as anyone who has read the books and then saw the movie will tell you, it's
not a competent adaptation.
It's not a competent adaptation. So, but
I do not remember it being terribly well received, so I just skipped it.
Yeah. So you had Daniel Craig in it. I'm not going to miss anything with James Bond in it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But okay, so to get back to this though, yeah, I mean, it's some of the things. First of all, Tahani, the actress who plays Tahani, is very clearly Tahani. And that's and what's interesting is how much these people in person in this panel here seem like their characters too, especially Manny Jacinto. Just seems as soon as he starts talking, it's like that's Jason.
Yeah. So are you saying that they're very the two non-actors or no?
Manny Jacinto?
Manny Jacinto is an actor because he's in Top Gun. And he's been in some horror movies. And I know William Jackson Harper has been... I've seen now one other thing he's been in. Midsommar. Very good movie. But they don't have... They're not as well known, say, as your K-Bells and your T. Dansons.
Yeah. But, it's so... Again, like listening to them talk about this, and they had... well, let's hear a little bit of it.
Break it down for me.
We'll do a little bit.
Help me out.
Welcome to the 2019 Comic-Con International panel for NBC's The Good Place.
Does this mean after having a comic
I'm Mark Evan
adaptation?
Jackson. We are going to do what you've done before. We're going to have a panel. We're going to talk with some of my coworkers, and then you're going to get a chance to ask questions. So be prepared for those. Remember that questions begin with questiony words. Words like who and where and what and when, and not like when I was pasting your garbage back together, like stay out of our garbage. Won't you please help me welcome Manny Jacinto, Darcy Carton, Jamila Jamil, William Jackson Harper, Kristen Bell, Ted Danson, Mike Schur, and Drew Goddard.
There's a lot of
Thank you
wooing.
for coming today.
Yeah.
Janet. We were just realizing that this is the last of the Comic-Cons for NBC's The Good Place.
Why did you just do that?
Why did we just do that?
Why did you just do that?
Kristen just did it.
Oh. I said it. Sorry.
There is one announcement that we need to make that's fun, and that is that at 1 o'clock this afternoon, the Season 3 gag reel will drop. So look for that because
And that was fun.
It's
Okay.
delicious. You are getting the bleeped version, which is slightly less fun, but is still pure magic. So we're going to talk for a little while, and then we will, I presume, line up in the aisles for questions. Keep your questions brief, please. Spare us the prefaces about the ways in which this show saved your life. We know. It saved all of ours as well. Darcy Carden.
Hi.
What did you do last Tuesday morning?
I woke up early.
You skipped the prefaces about why this show saved your life.
I presented the nominations for the Emmys.
Oh.
Right?
Did anything of note happen?
I think, like, Mahershala Ali is up for something. And, like, okay, so Ted's up for Best Actor in a Comedy Series. And, which honestly is kind of old news because that happened last year too. But the show was
It's
nominated
been happening
for
since
Emmy.
1980.
Yeah, so he's been nominated 17 times.
Is he? And he's won.
And he's won twice.
Okay.
He's quick to point out that he's won twice.
And both for Cheers, right? Or is
I'm
it
sure
one
they
for
must
Cheers or
be.
one for Becker? Or
Do you think he won for Becker?
What?
Did you watch Becker?
You're the Becker fan here.
Am I?
I thought you were. I thought you liked it.
I liked what I saw.
Okay.
I watched it when it started and maybe a little bit after that, but
I'm to understand that nobody watched Bored to Death, so I'm assuming that the Emmy voters didn't either.
Bored to Death is a fantastic fucking show. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but Bored to Death is amazing.
You and many other people I know have mentioned this.
Well, so clearly some people have watched Bored to Death.
Yeah.
People who know what's what.
You and 3 other people on Twitter who I know personally.
There we go. Are we also all neurotic Jews, or is it a mixed bag?
No, it's a mixed bag.
Okay, good. Because it does have a wide appeal, I think. It's just I thought it was clever, super well written, and it's the show that made me appreciate the abilities of Galifianakis. Yeah. Because if I had only seen him in The Hangover, I could have cared less.
Oh, speaking of which, I noticed something that was like really funny like 3 weeks ago. You know the nodding meme of so there's
My silence says no.
Your silence says no. So you were aware on Twitter that there was a popular meme of a bearded fellow in the woods who nods.
Oh yes, Robert Redford from
okay,
Jeremiah
so you knew
Johnson.
it was Robert Redford.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Jeremiah Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeremiah fucking Johnson.
Okay, just want to make sure because some people didn't know,
Including your wife.
I wasn't gonna call her out, but apparently people thought it was Zach Galifianakis.
Looks nothing. First of all, and I say this as a heteronormative person, but Robert Redford is a much, much better looking man than Zach Galifianakis.
Goes without saying.
Yes. It's Yeah. People, not everybody with big bushy beards that are kind of red in hue look alike.